Hi everybody, Ron Chapman Jr. here, Executive Director of Games for Life, bringing you another video. This is going to be the first game in our Game of the Week series. Hopefully I'll bring you a game every week. We'll see if that actually happens. But it'll be an informative game that will hopefully give you some information into good chess ideas and good thoughts to have during the game. This was a game I played yesterday in a local tournament that I played in. I'm rated about 1700 and my opponent was rated over 2000, so a pretty big advantage. I was confident but didn't necessarily expect to win and was happily surprised when I did. So I thought it would be worthwhile to show you how I won this game and what I was thinking as I played. Okay, first move is e4 and c5, and I'll just run through it real quick and show you the interesting parts. And so that move f4 is King's Gambit. It's a common opening that I play as white. It can be kind of dangerous, but often with that push you have a chance to start attacking the king side earlier than you would otherwise with your pawns. So right now we're both sides are just kind of developing their pieces, pinning down the knight. And then that's interesting. d4 is he creates some space for himself, attacking my knight. And so I obviously have to move my knight away. And now he is attacking, whoops, sorry. He's attacking my pawn right here, and so I have to protect it. And so I protect it by just rerouting that knight. And so now I already have both knights on the king side. They're protecting when I plan on castling, but they also can be used in attack on my opponent's king side, should that work out. Okay, and then we both kind of continue. I castle. He threatens my pawn with his queen. I protect it by still keeping, by developing, by keeping my pawn structure intact for the most part. That move right there, that a3 move, it was kind of just to keep his knight from hopping in here. That really wouldn't have caused too much damage, but I didn't want his knight to come in there. And it was also kind of a waiting move. I wasn't really sure what he was going to do. Wasn't completely sure what I was going to do yet, and so I was kind of just waiting to see where the action was going to take us. So that was kind of my thought process behind a3. He follows up by castling, just more development. I really didn't like that move for him, moving knight to e8, but I think his idea was probably he was going to reroute the knight here and then try to attack my bishop maybe, or he was going to, or he wanted to push, this pawn out here, or I think one of those two was his idea by moving his knight back there, but I think that was potentially his first bad move that started to give me an advantage. So then I move knight to g5, and he could have taken with his bishop. That would have been fine with me. I would have taken back with my pawn, and then I would have been able to get my queen involved. But if he didn't take, I also expected that he would push h6, which is what he did, and so that starts to weaken his pawn structure, which I'm also fine with. And then I actually put my knight now on h3, which is kind of awkward looking, but I thought that I wanted to keep this diagonal for my queen open, and if I brought my knight back here to f3, I wouldn't have been able to do that. So, and I did notice that the bishop is attacking h3, but should he push down with his pawn, I can push past. And that's actually what he did, and I also found that really surprising. He immediately tries to attack that, which seems like a good idea, but I was really glad he did that, because then I just pushed past with f5. And now I really like my position. I have bishop attacking. I can get my queen involved fast. I have both knights ready to hop into action. And his queen and this knight potentially can't really get involved to help him out play defense, especially his queen. His queen is right now is of no use defensively. So I really like my position. And he actually just brings his knight back from where he moved it earlier. So he's wasted a move by doing that. But I don't like that knight because it is protecting his position. So I offer the trade-off knight. He ignores it for the moment. Bring my bishop back. moves his rook over, and then I take that knight. I want that knight out of there, because once he takes back with the bishop, now my queen can get into the action. Again, I really still like my position. I feel like it's getting better and better. He's playing queenside, which I don't think he necessarily thought I had a good attack, so he didn't really pay attention to my attack very well. Oh, sorry, let me go back to that. And then he moves knight to a5, which again was the third move maybe that I wasn't really sure what he was thinking. I mean, I guess he was thinking he was going to start pushing these pawns, and he wanted to keep the knight there to help out, but I thought that would be too slow. Again, I'm attacking hard on this side, and also if you notice, my bishop is attacking his knight, and he's only using his queen to protect it, so if I can move his queen later in the game, then I might have a chance to attack that knight, which actually does come into play. So after that, I move rook to f3, and then again, he just kind of ignores my attack. He's playing on the queen side, and so rook to g3, and now I'm thinking I can take the queen can take the pawn for free because the rook is pinning down this pawn right here. So now he does react to that, moves his king over to h7, but then I follow up with a check, knight to g5. He could have taken with his bishop, and then I could have taken back with either my bishop or my rook, since this pawn is pinned down by my queen. And so, but he actually just leaves alone, moves his king back to g8. And then this was a 5-minute game, which means you start off with 25 minutes and then you have a 5-second delay. And so of that 25 minutes, I think I spent probably 3 or 4, maybe even 5, I don't remember, thinking about this next move. I was looking at, knight to here and then sacrificing the bishop. I was looking at knight here. I wasn't really seriously looking at that one, but I was looking to see if I can get this knight out of the way and then have my rook, queen, and bishop all ready to attack. But actually, after all that, I decided to sacrifice my queen. And he doesn't have to take here, but I am threatening mate if he doesn't do something. So he takes back, and then I check him. The rook that's a discovered check. Moves the knight out of the way. Moves his king over h7, and I take his queen. So remember, I took a pawn over here and then took his queen, and all he took was my queen, so that puts me up a pawn. And then now also remember, that queen was protecting this knight, and so now he has to protect his knight, and so he moves it back, and then I gobble up another pawn. So now, very quickly, I go up 2 pawns, and now he has to protect his rook, and then I'm double attacking this pawn. Whoops, sorry. I'm double attacking this pawn right there with my bishop and rook. So he has to protect that. I bring my knight in for safety. I just didn't want any tactics over there. He brings his knight in. I'm going to try and get my other rook involved. I think I saw what he had ideas over here about pushing down. I take, and he can take this pawn, but it never materialized. I bring my other rook over. He brings his rook. I'm obviously showing my hand. I'm going to try and push these rooks on him. Move another rook over. He moves his bishop over. I move my rook back. He pushes his pawn down. That was a good move. He's keeping my rooks out of there. I take this pawn. It's free now, I think. Knight. Another move I didn't really like on his part. I see what he's doing. He's attacking this pawn, but then I just easily protect it by doing bishop to c1, and I still have the same line of attack that I had before. It moves his rook back over to attack that pawn. G4, this pawn is pinned down, so I'm continuing with my attack. And remember, I'm still up, I think, up 2 pawns at this point. Moves his king over. Now I get another free pawn because of this bishop been sitting on this diagonal. So that's another attack. Then I attack his unprotected knight. He moves it out. I take the pawn. So I'm up material now, so I'm kind of looking to make trades. I have these 2 pawns over here. There are 2 pass pawns now. I like to look to those. Brings his knight in. I take. I protect. And this is where I make a mistake. I bring my knight over to put him check, thinking he'll move his king back towards this way, but he actually is just going to march his king over, so then I have to waste a move in coming back. Moves his king over. And then I trade away a pawn or 2, and then we get to the end game. And the last important thing to show you is I'm trying to trade off pieces. He's trying to avoid it. And then right here, he actually has a chance to mate me if I made a mistake. If I was to move my rook, he could actually move his rook down and checkmate me. And so I push up my pawn. And ultimately, at that point, I pushed up pawn, and he ran out of time. That was because I kind of kept on the offensive all game, and he was playing defensive, so he ran out of time, and I won. Got a lot of rating points. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.